Okay, last session we pretty much just did side quests. Hopefully today we don't have to just do side quests. Thank you very much for the bits. This name is lame. I appreciate that. Yeah, we've been having some YouTube struggles. This week I decided to take on a new project. I was going to go back through all of the YouTube VODs. We've got something like 2,200 VODs on this channel. Previously, the titles on those VODs just had an episode number, like episode 3 out of 7. It wasn't very descriptive to anybody searching on YouTube. There's basically no reason to click on one of those unless if it's episode 1. So I was like, okay, I'll add a little thing to the end of it that mentions an area or a boss or an upgrade that we get within that video. And while I'm doing it, I keep running into these little YouTube videos that have that they're running at like 5 frames per second. And I can't figure out what the hell the problem is. Like, why is this happening? I think we want to do... No, we want to get here from out here, don't we? I think it's near the tower is the closest. Let me just check. So I'm like, did I screw this up? Like, back when I was streaming in 2015, did I record the videos poorly and I just never watched them and never saw that they were like 5 frames per second? But no, turns out it's a YouTube bug that's affecting several other people, but none of us can get in touch with YouTube. Because how do you reach YouTube if you don't have a bajillion subscribers? So I'm currently working on a workaround that's going to require about a month of conscious effort and fixing the frame rate on those old videos, and also continuing to update the old video titles. But one of those things that it would be nice if I had an intern right now. I am going to apply again. We almost had an intern at the end of last year. Like, we had prepped everything with the Rotary Club in Los Alamos. We were going to get a high school student to come in and see how streaming works and maybe kind of help them out with starting their own channel if they were interested. But that's right when the hiatus started, when Andrea got sick. So this year we might be able to do that. I'm going to try to finish this project before I get an intern, but this would have been a really good project for them to do. It is almost certainly, I would imagine it's above 95% spiky. If not above 99%.
This must be the commercial structure Pascal was talking about. The records say it was once a facility known as a shopping center.
I know that's the rule for Twitch. Way more than 50% of Twitch streamers have between 0 and 1 viewers. And of the remaining 50%, something like 90% of them have fewer than 10 viewers. If not more, it might even be like 99% of the remaining 50%. I saw something on it at TwitchCon a couple of years ago, so I don't know if there's updated numbers, but if anything, I would expect that it is even more weighted against teensy tiny streamers like that. I guess we have to go up through here, huh? Is there like a thing I have to fight here to progress? I don't remember this from the first playthrough. I remember this area, but I don't remember having to do anything special. Water.
No getting through here.
Here we go.
Maybe there's some kind of mechanism we could engage?
Really, Aki? Interesting.
If we were human, we probably would have gone shopping and such here, right?
More meaningless conjecture.
You're so serious,
nines.
2B.
By meaningless conjecture, he means a flailing attempt at flirting.
Alert. Multiple machine life forms detected above our position.
Alright, here we go. Event flag.
Who the heck is the Forest King?
You're getting distracted.
Well, what do you expect?
It's kind of fun to be doing progress again. Are there significantly more side quests to unlock than what we've already done in the last session?
Combat was never
I guess there might be stuff in the forest area, right? It's one of those things when we're talking about like the size of the typical YouTube or Twitch channel, like small streamers and small YouTubers like to complain about a lack of attention, but you think about how much the big personalities are subsidizing everybody else with how expensive it is to source all of that material. I remember I'm supposed to beat the shit out of this guy or let him live and take me somewhere.
It's going to explode.
Looks like beat the shit out of him. More than half the side quests? Okay. Thank you. Oh, right, this stuff.
Huh? Hey, where am I?
What's that?
Hey there, guys. What's up?
This thing's weird, 2B. Let's kill it.
Wait, what? No. Good idea. No!
Yes, I really, really like the game dev side quest. Very clever.
What was that?
I like to play an entire game that's about bug hunting, because you could totally make a extended puzzle game out of it. Now he opened the door for me. Fantastic. I think there's
Looks like the forest is
a
just ahead.
shitload of design space. There's lots of cool fourth wall breaky stuff you could do. You could make a whole video game about bug testing and then have bugs inside the game. You know, not that that's anything new, but I could envision like you go to hit Alt F4 to close the game and it doesn't work. Press the defect report button. But most of those solutions, like sub mode, you kick the can down the road.
Better keep your guard up.
There's nothing that can just fundamentally solve
You
it.
just
I will, 2B.
Wow. Well, as soon as they hit me the first time, I started mashing dash to get out of it. I don't know if there's anything I could have done once they hit me there. Press the defect report button and it doesn't work. Yeah. That's the end game thing, right? What do you do then? Anti-chain damage chip? Oh, okay. Does it like make it so that you don't get stun locked like that? I think that happened to me last session too. That's a familiar problem to have right there. I think that happened to me in the 2B playthrough, I should say. Gives you iframes when you get hit. Seems pretty valuable. I did finish it last stream, just so we wouldn't have to remember what the hell we were doing at the start of the stream. I think I have an anti-chain damage chip. I might pop over and swap them. I might take a look right now and see if there's something I can dump. Wait, did I unequip them all at the end of stream? I remember actually going to the... Oh, I have to get my corp. God damn it. This game. It's like, first I realized it had a corpse run mechanic. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's like Dark Souls and old MMOs. And then like, it's actually not all that interesting the way it's... Alright, let's try not to die exactly the same way in the process of getting our corpse back here. Retrieve. Yes. I think the thing that makes the corpse run in Dark Souls work is it's like a kind of a temporary resource that you're losing that you can lock in later, right? It's like it becomes this interesting risk versus reward determination that you make. Is it worth me pushing forward, or should I double back and spend these souls and lock them in? But this one has more of like an Ultima Online approach to corpse running. Or like a really old school MMO approach. We're like, no, if you don't make it back, that stuff's just gone forever. There's no locking in, it's no discrete thing that you're trying to rescue. Just all of your resources so far, no big deal. And I think the way the game's difficulty is oriented, it's not actually that hard to get your stuff back anyway. I'm guessing if Yoko Taro made another NieR game, wonder if they would do it the same way. Thanks, Prop. By that you mean equip an anti-chain damage chip so that I don't die immediately. This is interesting. $256 years ago.
This forest we are stationed in. It is hot, humid, unhygienic, a punishing hell for machine life forms. None should have to live in such a place. I have decided I shall make this our
Right,
kingdom
Spiky.
and declare our independence.
Yeah, and then anything that kind of expects you, well, if you screw it up, you'll just load your save anyway. It's just a time sink, right?
What's a kingdom? Well, it's sort of like a large house. And inside this house, all our people live together as family.
This is new to the 9S playthrough, I assume, right?
Family. I suppose a family might be good. Yeah, families are good.
Neat. Put your member in there,
These
9S.
machines.
They were talking about a king, right? I saw what looked to be a castle further in. Maybe we should take a look.
Working on it. Was it just me, or there were first starting to be little glitchy effects when I was hacking there? Like right before that 9S exclusive cutscene started playing. Okay. Anti-chain damage. Let's go ahead and pay the tax to not get one shot. The next time something goofy like that happens. This auto-use item isn't really saving me that much trouble, is it? We think offensive heal and deadly heal both give you health back when you hack. Maybe, possibly, perhaps. I'm suddenly worried that I passed it. Thought I had one. I was pretty sure I did. Maybe it was something I could buy. I did go past it. Okay. I'll go slower. That's cooldown, damage absorbed, deadly heal. Resilience. Oh, anti-chain damage. I see it now. Okay. It's pretty expensive. Thank you, Johan. Dump something else.
You're super awesome.
Plus 3 for 15 isn't the worst.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
Alright. 2 seconds. Although I really just need a split second of resistance, right? And I've got room for 7 more storage. I need to save right after I do this because I'm going to die and it's going to lose the progress. Save video games. Exactly. It's enough time to press the evade button. So you start with no iframes at all? Is that how that works? Okay, I had like a picture I had to take here, I think. Maybe it's down here.
Okay, that's all the coordinates that Resistance member wanted.
Cool. I'll go...
I'll be honest though, I I don't quite get why she cares about these particular photos.
Everyone has memories that are precious for one reason or another.
I'm gonna turn that in
It's not for us
case.
to judge their value. They're important to her. That's all we need to know.
I think I asked this
Yeah,
last
I
time, but I
guess.
forget the answer. Like, are there many or any points of no return other than the obvious one from the 2B playthrough that'll lock me out of quests? I think we had the one quest with the couple trying to get married and get out, right? That had a point of no return that we got past. Right, need to go to map, map icons, quest destination, list, photographs, show on map. She's presumably at the resistance camp. Well, we've got the warp point here now, so that's nice. Yeah, this area reminds me a lot of Shadow of the Colossus, some of the forest areas, just the lighting and the color palette. Okay. Sounds good. Do I have the maximum plugin memory? Are there any more upgrades I can unlock there? I think I'm maxed out, right? But really a question, how did you get there? Attacked by machines and fought a pitched battle. My love was killed and many of my memories are lost. This must have been his final message for me. I thought you said, I have no idea what this means to me, which seems like something that an android might say. Music. Oh, I should be able to see. I have the full 128. Okay. It's the only way to get better plugin space is to craft and equip more efficient plugins, right? I think I may have maxed it out right at the beginning of this playthrough or something like that. Didn't someone say that as the playthroughs progress, sellable items become worth more? I had enough money to buy everything trivially in this playthrough, so it wasn't a really big deal. Just turn off most of your UI. Do you think that's a cool concept? I'm gonna give props where props are due. Yeah. Money is an issue for like the first 3 hours, maybe, like after you're able to initially spend it. And then you have effectively infinite money after that. Which, balancing cash is one of the hardest things to do other than balancing the XP curve in a game. Think about all the Zelda games that have rupees. I can think of like 2 of them where money is balanced well. You always have something interesting to spend it on. You're always excited to find more rupees.
We must protect our king and kingdom. We will not falling back.
Yeah. Oh, really? Rob? That's funny. She just wanted the extra points to equip other stuff, basically. Yeah, I like Majora's Mask's approach to rupees. I want to say Minish Cap did a really good job with the kinstones, usually connected to rupees. Yeah, and like having an endgame sink is a nice shortcut to making currency relevant, but getting it balanced throughout the whole game or doesn't feel like you're just flush with cash or super broke the whole time. You can also do the opposite approach, which is the Dragon Quest VIII style, where you're broke for the whole game. You could never afford to buy more than one upgrade in a town, even if you've been grinding a lot. But money feels really important. Which I think I would actually prefer to a game where you're just flushed with cash constantly. I guess the problem is that Dragon Quest VIII's math kind of expects you to buy upgrades for everybody, despite not being able to afford it. Minish Cap's a great game. Capcom's really good at making Zelda games. Oh, that's rude, Spiky. Yeah, Breath of the Wild, rupees can just kind of convert to arrows. I spent almost all my rupees on arrows. But they made arrows into an interesting limited resource, which is also very hard to do. I would argue that in the majority of Zelda games, you either have way too many arrows, or you have zero. And there's no, like, middle ground of I have an interesting number of them. Whereas Breath of the Wild, I always felt like I needed to be conserving arrows even if I had 30 of them.
Ready, aim, thrust. Okay, intruders, get information now. Take position.
Can I?
Keep going.
Yeah, like, why is it there? Exactly. It's there because that's what games do. They give you resources for no reason. And I think I'm increasingly appreciating efforts to streamline games that realize, you know what? I'm not really using money for anything in this game. I really like the Link Between Worlds approach to consumable resources, not other than rupees. Like, instead of having a consumable number of arrows in a quiver, your bow simply had a cooldown. You could shoot a certain number of times within a space of time, and then you had to wait for it to cool down to shoot again, which is the much more interesting limitation, I think, versus the game where you have, come on. The game where you can have, like, 99 of a resource and just use it indiscriminately with no cooldown. It's more interesting from a fight design perspective that you can say, oh, you can only fire that every X seconds. Regardless, you can't have more to make you fire it faster. Oops. Bad. Okay, there we go. I think money should... I like it when money is a finite resource. I like it when most rewards are finite, but money in particular... Like, there's a finite number of credits in the Mass Effect series, so anytime you get credits, it's exciting if you're trying to buy all the game's goods. There's also a finite amount of goods that you can purchase.
Nice shack.
Stay away from them. Leave this place. Leave now.
Okay, now wait.
Alright, buddy, I'm sorry. I don't mean to fight you, but it seems like that's what the game wants me to do. Taro grins evilly somewhere. You mean you don't want to miss out on content? Please, I beg of you. Aw, how cute. Show no mercy. Fine, we'll spare your critters. Implying that Nines and 2B have been running through the game murdering animals. I do not remember the reason. The creature took a liking to me. She followed me wherever I went. Sure. Was that the whole quest? Save the frames, kill the animals. I do like the concept of trading money, like always having something you can spend money on as an alternate resource. Buying skills. It's tough to balance too, though. Not a lot of games explore the design space of money, like letting you use it as an alternate resource. Some of the Final Fantasy games will have like a gambler class, will have guild toss. You can convert money to damage or convert money to hit points. I think I've played a couple games that let you use your gold value as your health value. I don't think I actually have an easy way to get over there. I don't remember how to get last time. Sonic uses coins. Yeah, Child of Light was doing that too. I thought that was cool. One of the first games I've seen with an interesting ATB. ATB is generally pretty boring. It degenerates to... It's turn-based, except the computer gets to make actions immediately and you have to take like 2 or 3 seconds. Oh yeah, Xenosaga's like that as well. You want to try to do most of your damage on the crit turn or whatever. Okay. No problem. Propagable. And you've already seen this playthrough, so unless if something really crazy happens on 9S... Ow. Dick. Are the iframes from the anti-chain damage, like, displayed on your character anyway? Does he flash or something? These guys aren't really giving a lot of XP, are they? On the map here. Okay, so I gotta go all the way across that bridge and then to the left. Gotcha. Need a bathroom break. I really hope that Twitch eventually deploys that cool YouTube live feature where you can rewind the live stream. It was really convenient back when we were still multi-streaming. People could watch on there and catch up at 2x speed.
But how can a concept like loyalty be understood by a machine?
"9S is such a clueless protagonist. Those were good days. Yeah, it's conceivable that Twitch could add it. They've added a bunch of YouTube live features. I think the VODs have variable playback speed now.
The king who gave all for us.
Poor King Robots.
So benevolent and kind. And now he's dead. It sure is sad. It sure is. But we royal knights still have a mission. We placed His Majesty's memory, his final memento, into this tiny child. And now we must raise this child so he might one day be our new king. He deserves a royal upbringing. He deserves protection.
Interesting. Yeah, I like when enemies have access to the same tools. They can sometimes use that as conveyance to tell the player, hey, you know, you could be doing this. I like to do a fight in D&D, you know, kind of classic tropey NieR fight where the party fights themselves. Especially if I'm playing with a group of players that aren't really using their the full extent of their capabilities. This is what happens when one person, the DM, uses all of the abilities synergistically. Although that tower is still there from the side quest. Or we could not die. Have you considered that? Sweets. About to get wrecked. Split second before that happened, yikes. Touching the walls. There we go. Sonic block is starting soon. Is it really? How has GDQ been? We watched the first couple of games on Sunday. I'll probably watch a little bit more. It ends on Saturday? Is that the end of it? I saw that Puexel is closing it out with FF6. That's pretty sweet. I really like Puexel. Cat's super excited. Ends on Saturday, okay. Hey, injured animal? Oh, he was just a sleepy animal. He wasn't injured. Not like the friendly robots we're worried about.
Yep, this looks like a king's castle, all right.
What do you know about King's Castles, 9S? You're an android. So judgmental. I feel like that meme with Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man kind of sums up NieR Automata's plot. But they're robots! That doesn't make sense! Like, dude? Buddy boy? Played Spinball more than the main series. I've never beaten Spinball. I think I've gotten to the 3rd level once. Are there only 4 levels in the whole game? Setup block also lets them catch up if something goes over time, right? If there's technical difficulties. Hey, oh, it was always openable. Yep, that was always allowed. This is gonna end badly once I come out of the hack. Lying if you said you remembered. Yeah. Sounds about right. When did Spinball come out? What year was it? This perspective shifty stuff. Still cool even when I know to expect it.
Huh? Wait, what did you just say?
Roger that, 9S.
Wait, no, that's not what you said. You said 9s. Or at least something close to...
Cut the chatter and engage the enemy.
Ah,
You need to take a cold shower, 9S.
This part belongs to a machine life form.
doesn't look like I'll need this.
Oh, so it goes... Okay. Well, I guess that confirms 100% there's going to be a Pascal playthrough. Or something similar, an Adam and Eve playthrough. It's like finding the megaphone. Well, I'm gonna put this away, even though my inventory carries over between save files. Come on, guys, get genre savvy. So while we're going through this zone, Polar Brewski hasn't been able to tune into the stream because he now has 2 babies to take care of. But he donated another 25 bucks or so to the fundraiser to send Kat and Jaden to PAX. We're getting super close to the second Jaden chiptune stream. I think we're 47 bucks away, 46 and some change. Once that unlocks, we've already discussed with Jaden and his parents, he'd like to start doing a weekly chiptune stream on his own channel. Just kind of doing that same thing of writing music live and practicing being social about it, taking commissions, that sort of thing. So thanks everyone for the support for the fundraiser so far. It means a lot. If you were thinking about supporting, rewards for doing so are very inflated. You will get way more SP than you normally would get. You'll be able to influence unlocking of bonus streams pretty trivially, and you'll get some bonus sub-block hours, and you can see the thresholds for that at fundraiser.marstead.com. Let's back over. Let's get back to video games. Spinball was 93. Okay. Yeah, that would have made me... I would have been 6 years old then. That sounds right. I think I had the Genesis right when it came out. I feel like I doubt that I just got Spinball the week it was released, but I played games pretty close to release when I was a kid, just because that's when they would show up at Blockbuster. I very rarely read magazines hyping me up for the release, so that experience of walking into Blockbuster and seeing box art for the first time ever, like, whoa, what's this? Chrono Trigger. This looks like that Dragon Ball show. I'm sure that's just a coincidence. Dragon Ball show that like always gets to the middle of the Namek Frieza arc and then just stops and restarts because that's all we had on Toonami back in the day. It restarted right after the Ginyu Force. I know, right, Chaos? Yeah, and then when it came back finally, they had different voice actors and it weirded me out. Copper ore full. Alright. Copper ore just for selling? Is it a crafting ingredient as well? Like leaving items lying on the ground. I like the new voice actors now. Apparently, I haven't been watching Dragon Ball Super. I hear it's pretty fun though. Akira Toriyama's being goofy again. They had some kind of clone Vegeta character, and they got the English voice actor who originally did Vegeta way back in the day, the original localization to play the clone Vegeta. That was really cool. I think between the Funimation Dragon Ball voice actors and the Futurama voice actors, those are probably my 2 favorite groups of people that work together all the time and have a lot of rapport with each other. Like John DiMaggio, the voice of Bender and many other characters. Got Billy West, the voice of Fry, the Professor, Zap Brannigan, Zoidberg, Richard Nixon on Adventure Time with them just because they're friends. Experience with 16-bit era games is years after they came out. Do they still hold up for you, Spiky? I have this feeling that 16-bit games are timeless, but I don't know if that's just because I was an adolescent at the time. Hey, Alexander, how you doing? Babies don't. Robot babies don't grow. I was just about to ask that question.
We're too dumb to figure that out. Sure is a cutie, though. Yeah, so tiny and cute.
Guess I mean Super Nintendo games that were good in the Super Nintendo era continue to be good today.
Right. Can't let anyone into the Forest Kingdom.
4 still looks good though.
Danger! Danger!
Most of its issues are evolution of RPGs, game mechanics, game design problems.
No! Intruders in the kingdom! Don't let them in here.
Mechanics and polish. Even then, 4 is significantly more playable today than 1, 2, or 3 for the NES, or any of the original Dragon Quest games. Did I just get turned around during that cutscene? Am I going right? This is NieR Automata. It is an action RPG. Well, it's difficult to describe what this game is. It's a lot of things. Shifting perspectives in multiple different ways. Came out, what, last year? End of last year? I hate those worm things. They're the worst. Alright, so we're gonna get to the first boss fight that really gave me significant trouble in the 2B playthrough, and then I just had a bad time basically from that point forward with worrying about losing a fight.
We will protect the king with our very lives.
Don't give them a single inch.
All hail the king!
Hopefully it'll go better this time now that we've done a bunch of side quests. Yeah, FF3 has a lot of just balance problems. The pacing of save points is a pretty big issue. In fact, the entire final dungeon has one save point outside of it. And all of the remakes have done nothing to help with that. FF3 is alpha, FF5. The Japanese really like Final Fantasy 3. Maybe it's because they have that, it's like oh, this is the real first exploration of the job system. Had a lot of Sakaguchi's earliest ideas too, of like, oh, the final boss is completely out of nowhere. Doesn't seem to be connected at all to the main story. Had a lot of the first appearances of the most classic Final Fantasy enemies. Yeah, it's just that it's too easy to exploit, right, Aki? The idea was really cool. I still want to see someone take another paths at FF2's progression design. It might not be possible. I mean, I guess basically that's what Skyrim is, but how do you do something like that without incentivizing really boring, shitty play? Attacking your party members, that kind of thing. There's a lot of perverse ways to level up in Skyrim, I've heard. Maxing out enemy stats and punching them a bunch. Well, now we know who the baby was that he just murdered. That makes that even worse. That's a bummer. Final Fantasy Endless Nova? Oh, I'll have to look into that.
Android. A Yorha-type android.
Alert. This unit is currently wanted by Yorha. Annihilation recommended.
Annihilation? But why?
Let's go, 9S.
To be?
Bunker to 2B and 9S. We've picked up a signal from the black box of a fugitive known as A2.
A2? Oh, she just starts attacking it.
What
Okay.
you see in front of you is your enemy.
But she's...
Yo. Yeah, I might want to take a look at it just to see what they changed, or even if I could just find a list of, like, features that make it different from Final Fantasy II, it would be neat.
multiple pursuit androids.
I don't think I've seen that enemy that blows itself up before. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, killed it too fast.
Now kill her before she kills you.
Working on it. Does she have a unique mini games? I feel like I haven't seen these specific ones before with all the damaging blocks everywhere. Hacking maybe should have a cooldown. It's pretty OP, but I guess it's nice because it means that the second playthrough doesn't take anywhere near as long.
Command is the one that betrayed you.
We know that the baby that A2 murdered found out all its backstory.
Let's go after her, 2B.
He's a king and they transferred the body to it. Pretty neat. If I could save before I go after her. Sweet. Okay, I see how it is. I think I did that last time too. She took me like 3 or 4 attempts or something. Oh, pfft. Yeah.
Damn.
Great.
She got away. Operator, this is 9S. Patch me through to the commander.
Roger that.
Oh, that's
9S.
awesome, Aki.
I'm sorry, Commander. We failed to defeat the fugitive.
I see. Well, at least you're both safe. That's an incredibly powerful unit you just faced. You should probably keep your distance in the
A2
future.
playthrough coming
Commander,
up.
why did A2 desert the Force?
I'm afraid that's classified.
Oh? Huh. 2B,
Yeah?
let's go ask Pascal about A2. He might know something.
All right.
Oh, there's an warp bus. That's convenient. Oh, never mind. It's a cutscene.
Whether in wind or rain,
Choose a loose cannon, damn it.
thunder or snow.
How do you defend destroying a multi-million-dollar mini-mall to save a girl whose ransom was only $10,000?
They were always together. They never understood why,
Take her badge and her gun.
and yet they spent their lives nestled together. Forever. Forever and ever.
Amen. They are not warping me.
Pascal? This is 9S.
Oh, you survived. How wonderful.
Yeah, we're fine. But there's something we want to ask you about.
Of course. Anything.
Actually, it needs to be in person.
Understood. I'll open the gate we built to deter enemy invaders. You'll be able to reach the village through there.
Okay. That's another way to get in there. Gotcha. The gate they built to welcome enemy invaders. Does anyone who's not in danger build a gate? I've really thought about gates as implying violence, but kind of do, don't they? Hello.
I'm surprised you wish to speak with me personally. Whatever is the matter?
As
It'll be faster
evil
if you just take a
android.
look at this recording.
Yay, I didn't mean to kill the poor shopkeeper.
Information about this A2 android is indeed contained within our archives. We all understand her to be rather dangerous. However, she's never visited our village in person. My apologies. That's all the information I have.
I see. Alright, thanks.
Let's stay sharp and head back to the resistance camp. We should run a check on our consciousness data and resupply.
Okay. Want to keep their sheep in one place. It's violence against sheep. Guess so. Infringing upon their will. Yeah, right. The technobabble in this is pretty good, I feel like. Given that it has, you know, robot sex and Sephiroth Ken dolls and... That's kind of correct.
9S, why did you ask Pascal about A2?
Huh?
It's not recommended to interface with machines without consulting command.
Yeah, I know.
They're clearly not paying
Though
attention,
I
so...
suppose such intense curiosity can be admirable, in its own way.
Thanks, 2B.
Still, machines are the enemy. Don't forget it.
Is that new dialogue to this playthrough? Server capacity. Organize your folders and delete any old data to free up space. They're not being, like, I don't actually have to delete any of these. Oh, I can't delete them anyway. Okay, it's just fun lore. I can see them actually fucking with you and denying you quests if you don't delete your old files.
This is your regularly scheduled contact.
Yeah, no problems here.
Copy that. I also need to inform you that the Commander offers her personal praise for your recent achievements. As a direct result, we are currently considering boosting production of your model.
Really? I'm happy to hear it. I couldn't have done it without your support, Operator. You're always so cool under fire, not to mention beautiful and...
Flattery is unnecessary. Operator 210 out.
I really meant it, though.
Oh, poor Nines. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to hack you.
Oh, 2B. Your timing is impeccable. Our android forces currently have a carrier deployed in the Pacific Ocean. It should be back here to resupply before too long. The Resistance is assisting with the mission, so I'd like to ask you to run a little guard duty. Seriously? Dead serious. There's a stockpile of missiles down at the shoreline that needs to be loaded on the carrier.
If I do this quest, it's the side quest cut
all the
off?
machine activity lately, we
Okay.
need to stay on our toes. Of course, if you're already working on something for Yorha, I don't mind if that takes
That's her
priority.
line saying
Anyway,
that.
thanks in advance.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Alright, well, what other side quests do I have left to do? Let's get it over with here. I guess most of them will show on the map, right? There's a lot of question marks out right outside. Any ones in particular that people recommend? Not doing Lost Girl. There's a bunch over here. If there's nothing left on the map that matters, I'll just go ahead and progress the main story. Let's do it. City Ruins Cave. There's one side quest that unlocked I should probably do. Alright, which one is it? Entrance to the desert. Okay, thank you. Ugh. I can't open this because he's in the way. Do I have any indication when Hyde is going crazy? If chat gets really quiet suddenly, I tend to assume that, yeah. I think we want to go to the camp. It's close. I actually don't see any quest markers there. I can double check the map when I get there from the teleport. Right, yeah. No, I tend to assume that stuff's going on in Hyde if chat was pretty active and then suddenly it gets super quiet, but other than that, I can't see any pop-ups or anything like that. Okay. It's really interesting that it always moves to where you were. I don't see anything here. Is it here, maybe? Oh, Emil. Okay. That cute robot guy. Guessing that's what y'all are talking about. Yeah. Redacted just gives stuff away for sure.
Proposal.
Even so, like, oh, this next part's so crazy. Didn't we talk to him in 2B's playthrough and, like, there was, like, a soft lock or something? He wouldn't talk to us? There we go, now we can talk. Guessing his stuff that he sells is garbage, just like every other shop that sells chips. Deep, deep underground. Okay. So not him, you're talking about this red thing over here. Up on the roof if I can. Find a thing in the building before the forest entrance. Okay. Oh wait, it was connected to Emil? That's goofy. Where we first met him. Music is all badass for this area. What's up? Father Servo. Why won't you talk to me? Is something wrong? Oh, this is a bunch of fights. How many enemies here? Like, below me? Oh, alright. Hey, yellow turtles, how you doing? How was your Tuesday/Wednesday treating you? Just progressively harder fights, not that interesting. Okay. So we're going to the mall then? I'm cleaning up some side quests here before wrapping up what I assume is the NieS playthrough. No idea what's next. Forest Castle Front, I think, was pretty close to it. Oh wait, no, it was right outside the forest area in general, wasn't it? That's okay, I think I can get there from here. Forest Zone Center. One more load screen. You playing with hobos have oversplit. It must have been Vampire the Masquerade. That was a really interesting. Talk about a game that was like way too ahead of its time. Guessing there's not a quest indicator for this. I don't actually remember where this mall thing was. Should see a red dot there. I honestly don't remember where the mall was. I thought it was close to here. This one?
Don't let up. The enemy is among us.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes.
Give your lives for the king of our forest.
I think I gotta go around to get up in there, right? Hi, Ben. How are you? You here for Snuggles?
Loyal knights, give your lives for the king
I'm
of
gonna
our
try to
forest.
pet you, Ben. Got things trying to kill me. Oh, okay. Thought we originally got into the forest area. Makes sense.
I can't believe the size of the commercial facility. The people of the old world must have led pretty
Hi,
good
Ben.
lives. I bet it was fun to shop back when you had so many choices.
We don't need such things.
Don't be so sure about that. Once we eradicate the machine life forms, us soldiers won't have anything left to do. We'll enter a new age of peace. And when that happens, we should go shopping together.
Uh-huh,
I
that's
could
how
buy
that's
you,
gonna play out.
I don't know, a t-shirt maybe? Something that looks good on you.
A t-shirt?
What, not interested?
When that day comes, I'm all for it.
That's a promise,
Aw.
right?
Yep.
Somewhere in here. Unless if that was it. You need to be able to trigger that conversation to then go get the t-shirt from Emil. Hold on. Oh no, there's still something in here.
That's a strange flower.
Analysis. It is a plant known as a lunar tear.
Okay.
Lunar tear.
Metal Gear.
Huh? When did you get here?
So this flower is called a lunar tear. Seeing that dredges up all kinds of memories. Some of
Voice
them are a bit
sounds different.
strange, honestly. Like the one where I'm being attacked by a giant boar over and over again. Or another where I keep trying out new parts every time my body is damaged.
Sounds rough.
Something about this flower fills me with an emotion I don't really understand. It's like something's pushing down on my chest really hard. So, do you mind if I ask you a favor? If you find lunar tears growing anywhere else, would you let me know? I want to try and figure out what this feeling is all about. What do you say?
Okay.
Aw, thanks. If you find another lunar tear, just let me know on this frequency, all right? I'm counting on you.
Feels super random and disconnected from the plot so far, but alright. Weird shop guy shows up. Maybe it's connected to a later playthrough or something. That's why it's like out of nowhere here. what's this guy? Forest zone. I can make it there, right? Around Bright Eyes. Oh, really? Where's the guy who fully upgrades your weapons?
Don't let up. The enemy is among us.
Don't let any intruder get in.
We must
So the only other time there was something that was bizarrely specific was when it was a reference to the original NieR, like some of the old world items. Is Emil in the original NieR or something? Or to the save point that was just before A2, he's pretty close to it. Oh, okay. Was he like a castle blacksmith or something? That's funny.
This is a lunar tier, right? We'd better let Emil know.
Hey there, guys. What's up?
We found a lunar tier.
Oh.
It's located at...
That's something you can tell me whether I asked or not, I guess.
Okay. I hope he doesn't expect me
I'm
to just
really
stand
puzzled
here all
with
day.
like the sudden severity they're treating this bizarre creature that doesn't have the normal robot
Now that I
voice.
think about it, this whole area was once.
It's presented as like, you should care about this character already, and I'm like, what? I haven't really learned anything about him.
I seem to have a memory of caring for this flower a long time ago. But the sand kept expanding, and the flowers gradually wilted.
He was not a
Now that I
car.
think about it, that was around the same time I stopped seeing people.
You mean humans?
Thanks a bunch for finding this. Really. Oh, and let me know if you find any more, okay? I'm gonna stay here for a bit.
Okie dokie. And go to the blacksmith. He's a mask that Yoko Taro wears everywhere. Like, for how long has he been doing that? Just part of his style since time immemorial? Is that only since NieR Automata came out? Okay. Thanks for the context. I would have been... Well, I continue to be at least a little bit puzzled, but I was very puzzled. Like, the way they use the camera when the mask rolls in, it's like, look at this! And I'm like, I don't know what that is, and I don't care. It's not particularly weird for this game. But I guess it's interesting if you have that out-of-game context. It's cool. Royal Chamber. Oh, someone had that as a costume at PAX? Like, that was their entire costume? He never appeared in public before NieR. Huh. Oh, okay. Pre-order bonus was a YouTube link of Yoko Taro rolling around on the floor yelling, "Fuck Square Enix." How long has he worked for Square Enix? Yeah, that's pretty funny. Miyazaki only appeared in an Inbro armor. It reminds me of like Sia, right? She only ever appears with that white and black wig obscuring her face, where she has like a proxy and doesn't face the camera. Is the character presumably blacksmith dude I'm looking for marked on the map in any way? Passed it. Down here somewhere, maybe? Oh, I think I see the thing down here. What? Oh, it's a box. I couldn't really see what it was from this distance. Great. I like them doing the Dark Souls hearing a blacksmith hammer in the distance. I think that was the first game to do that. What's up, dude? He actually is a blacksmith. Fantastic. Awesome, Renee. Fantastic. Brought the digital ember. Ancient Overlord is the one I'm using, right? I need one large gear. God damn it. Does anyone have any guess where I can get that, or can someone Google it real quick? No problem, Dokugan. How was, I had to host and run. How was the rest of Octopath Traveler? I saw you were playing the Cyrus questline. I ended up doing, Tressa the Merchant and Cyrus, and I ended up enjoying the game quite a bit. Nice. Yeah, I'm probably going to give it a couple weeks after it comes out for viewers to play through it, so I'm not spoiling anything, and then I'm gonna try to pick it up pretty close to release. I like this whole concept of, hey, let's make solid JRPGs that don't abandon the concept of the JRPG. Like, let's try to innovate a little bit on the formula. I feel like Square is generally moving in the other direction with a lot of its other properties like Final Fantasy. They're saying, RPGs suck, so let's just make action RPGs instead. And to some extent, that's kind of true. JRPGs do have a lot of really fundamental modern game design problems. Then you have stuff like Bravely Default and Octopath that helps with that. Hey, Nodovan, how you doing? Emil sells materials later on. Oh, the wiki doesn't specify. Maybe a quest will give it to me, the large gear that I'm looking for. I'll try to pick up these remaining flowers in the meantime. Locked chest by the city ruin. Go try to check for those. Do you have to do like a quest chain to get Emil to sell materials? Hey, new puppy, what breed you get, Nodovan? He sells gears when he's outside the resistance camp. Okay. Oh, is it over here?
It's a lunar tear. I'd better tell Emil.
Aw.
Hey there! What's going on?
You got
I
a
found
cloud
one of those
boy.
flowers you were looking for. It's over at...
Don't move an inch! I'm coming!
Don't move? I'm actually kind of busy.
Sorry to keep you.
No probs.
Damn, you're fast.
That's it. I remember now. Back when the aliens first invaded, I fought as hard as I could to save Earth.
You did?
I think I had something I wanted to protect. Something really precious to me. But I don't know what it was. Thank you for finding this. You'll let me know if you find any more, right? I'm gonna stay here for a bit.
You wanna sell me stuff while you're staying here? Nope, just a double ellipsis. Bummer. Alright, where else do I have to go? Map, icons, weapon, or quest destination. Oops. How about this one? That's far from everything. Flooded City Coast. Okay. It's actually not too bad. What else did he make other than NieR? And I hope they take another stab at this. I appreciate that it sounds like Yoko Taro tries to make totally different games every time, but I feel like this one could be really, really good with a little bit of iteration from some of the lessons they've learned from it, you know? Oh, he actually made Drakengard? Okay, that makes more sense. Remember you guys were saying that it's connected by story. It's like, is it because he just really liked it? Oh, Yoshi P does that a lot. I don't think he had anything to do with the Ogre Battle games, but there's a bunch of like Ogre Battle references in Final Fantasy XIV because he just likes Ogre Battle. If you guys didn't toss Doku a follow last night, you should do so. Oh man, how's Monster Hunter World? I was thinking about starting that pretty soon. Fun little multiplayer game. Oh whoa, what's going on? No problem. Over a decade in a row. Stage music.
Why must we read all these
Is NieR a
books,
popular
brother?
enough game to warrant a stage musical
expands horizons
in Japan?
and enriches existence.
But can't we just transfer all this data over instantly?
Into your head, perhaps, but not to your heart.
I remember this.
I guess.
Did one of these earlier, but not in the same
Hey,
playthrough.
so
Yes.
my name?
Right?
Eve? This book says it's
How
a
many
woman's
hours do you
name.
have in Monster Hunter in
Shouldn't
general?
it be called Cain and Abel or something instead?
Humans wouldn't change names so easily. Besides, you should be proud of the name Eve.
Huh. Well, if that's what you think, then I'm fine with it.
Glad to hear it.
There's nothing unpopular enough to not warrant a stage musical in Japan. That's awesome, Aki.
Is there something else?
After we're done reading, can we go out and play? I'm sure it'll be tons of fun.
All right, but only after we're finished.
You mean it?
Yeah, go for it.
Then I'm gonna try extra hard to finish this.
Thanks for
Extra hard.
You do that.
Oh, Eve. Thanks for learning more about him. I played Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate and Generations on stream, and I liked the skeleton, the structure of the game, but it made a lot of interesting quality of life decisions from entry in the series to entry of the series. It felt like they were pretty stagnant. Like, we're just going to keep doing this because this is the way we've always done it. And it sounds like Monster Hunter World actually takes some steps to innovate and change those things, finally. So I'm hoping it's, 1, good, and 2, indicative of the direction the series is taking. World has a lot of changes. Okay. Yeah, they make, there's a lot of stuff in the Monster Hunter games that I played that felt like they had a cool flavor idea, but it didn't really translate to an entirely exciting gameplay mechanic. Like, if you read the back of the box and it was like, oh, you have to explore and cook your own food and you have to sharpen your weapon when it gets dull. And it's like, yeah, that all is technically true, but does that create for an engaging, gameplay experience?
Is that what we need to protect?
Let's take him out already so I can be home in time.
Look at your fluff ball. Oh god. Alright, moving blocks. It's a cool exploration of the design space. I don't think I've seen that happen before, or if I did, I wasn't paying attention. No! Bang it, Bobby.
Androids don't need to bathe. As long as you perform regular cleaning and maintenance, bathing is unnecessary.
Bathing is unnecessary. You heard it here.
Yeah, but come on, 2B. It still feels good.
I'm guessing they'll explore this further in the game, but have they already established, really, really early on, that the androids are basically identical to humans other than having a black box and being able to respawn? They're like replicants from Blade Runner, or the really advanced hosts in Westworld. Oh, that's right, because 9S gets busted open and you can see a bunch of mechanical stuff inside of them, that's right. Other than looks like them. Okay. Gotcha. I was just trying to figure out where it fell on that spectrum. Do they have blood and stuff? They have like white android blood, right? Because white is definitely the creepiest color blood you can give to a robot. Green is a little too cheesy. Ow. White blood's in a lot of things. Metal Gear Solid as well. I actually didn't remember any bleeding sequences in this game, I just assumed. Another... the androids in the Alien series have white blood. Just the big one I was trying to remember. They're pretty close to human. Not full-on, like, Blade Runner replicant. Excuse you.
I think that's the last of the machines.
In this area.
2B, 9S, come in.
Commander?
Emergency orders incoming. The carrier ship that was set to resupply has come under attack. It's currently being engaged by a swarm of machines. I've asked all NieR troops in the city ruins for assistance, and I'll need you to provide backup as well. I'm sending flight units and coordinates now. Good luck. Out.
So we don't want to get in these flight units, right? That progresses the main story. We want to finish this Emil side quest.
You see? Total slave driver. Whoopsh.
If she didn't order others around, what kind of leader would she be?
If you say so. It's a lunar tier. I'd better tell Emil.
Come here, buddy.
Hey there, what's up?
I found a lunar...
I'm on my way. Sorry to keep you.
As speedy as always, I see.
Oh.
He's a living
That's right.
Vespa.
What happened here, Emil?
I was fighting the aliens. It wasn't going well, so
The
I decided
aliens.
to create multiple versions of myself to help with the fight. But the aliens just kept coming. I lost so many friends that day.
Is it
It was
a...
a long time ago, but still.
I guess I can't ask this question without getting myself in
How
trouble.
old are you anyway?
I'm not sure.
I wonder if
I
the
didn't
aliens
need that
were in
memory to
the
fight.
original NieR.
Thank
Don't
you for
answer
finding
unless if
this.
it's like
You'll let me know if you find
a
any
first
more,
hour
right?
of NieR reveal.
I'm gonna stay here for a bit.
You think the first NieR is awesome enough to warrant being played on this channel? Like, was it well reviewed, well received? I know Automata is pretty universally acclaimed so far. Oh, you can't start this side quest until this part of the story? Oh, wow. So you could totally miss this pretty easily. Oh. The only way to get that cutscene... Okay. So you could really easily not know that the flight units are a point of no return after picking up that flower. I wonder if they tried to make it out of the way like that. Let's see. Yeah, this game's gameplay's okay. It's not bad by any means, but let's go to Desert Camp. It's definitely, it shines the most when you're doing the crazy perspective changes, where it feels like the fight and enemy design is a little bit more scripted. The bullet hell sequences and the scrolling space shooter sequences. Dumbass. I forgot to make a note of what the place was actually called. Hold on. It is Desert Camp. Okay. Metacritic says the original NieR is below threshold, but the user score is 8+. Okay. That's good to know. I mean, I can make exceptions for games. The Metacritic threshold is just give me a narrative for why we should play this game. But if it's above the threshold, it's like, yeah, sure, let's just include it. We don't even need to discuss it. Usually a game won't both be below that in the critic and user score and still be viable. Cult classic? Okay. What did critics dislike about it? This game does cool boss encounters too. It's clunky. Okay, I think we're going the right way. This desert camp always confuses me. I'm not going the right way. The ideas NieR was built on are extremely solid, the execution falls short. Yeah. I think I feel that way about this game too. I love basically all of its ideas. And then it does some things that I feel like it does for convention's sake, like levels and the combo system and the corpses system and dropping your stuff, the saving system. Not a game you would have expected a sequel to. They did a good job of marketing this independent of the original NieR. I wonder, given that it didn't do terribly well, why they even kept it in the title, right? Could have gotten it in trouble. I mean, was it more popular in Japan, maybe? I find Japanese gamers seem to be more tolerant of shitty gameplay. Well, still, I imagine that, like, Square Enix has some say in that from a marketing perspective. Like, there is definitely that sequence in this game after you finish the 2B playthrough where it pops up and it says, "This is a message from Square Enix." Because Yoko Taro probably didn't want it in the game. That implores you to not stop playing there. Come on. Do a shenanigan get up there? The routes through the underground. Oh. That's even worse. You think so, Prob? It felt like it was pretty inserted to not like freak out reviewers. Cool, that's it. Game over. Where's the underground area? Jump down the cliff on the other side of the area. Okay. Thank you. This way, right? No, it's just a dead end. Is it near a particular waypoint on the map. Like this edge over here. That just looks like a lot of walls. Maybe it's here somewhere by the save point. I'm just gonna freeze the map here. We're gonna call up north. What direction is it from my player icon here? Probably the right wall after the save point. Oh. Oh, that's in a different area. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I like a lot of this game's narrative decisions, but I just, mechanically, I feel like it's feigning depth. The way most of the combats work, the level system, all that stuff. I'm still excited to see where he's going to take it next. I think having you do the hacking in the second playthrough is wise. It makes you get through it a little bit more quickly instead of slogging. And hopefully that continues to be the case in whoever we're playing as next playthrough, Pascal or Adam and Eve or A2 or whoever. It doesn't suddenly slow down. Oh wait, so don't go back this way. The right wall after the save point, so don't go past the save point. I was trying to hug this right wall over here. Okay. Yeah, but not it back into the city ruins area. Yeah, sorry. Thank goodness for the reduced chat delay. Thank you for the help. I wonder how close to Yoko Taro's vision this game ended up being. I doubt that's the sort of thing he would ever comment on, right? It doesn't sound like that's his kind of bag. It feels super, super, super polished and authored and directed in like the first, this isn't right, I don't think. Let me check the map. It's gonna be another exit, presumably. Oh boy. One of the northwestern exits, okay. The first 2 or 3 hours felt really polished and authored and directed, and then I feel like it depends a lot on these yucky areas that feel really open, but when you think about it, they're not really. Like what there's a desert, a city area, amusement park, and the forest. And they give this really interesting illusion of depth. But the levels are all actually pretty small. I guess you end up taking advantage of the fact that the characters run so fast, which is really nice. It would be pretty awful if they were slowly walking through the stage. This is also wrong. Alright, back down. You think this is right? Yeah. Pointless travel, and I think it makes the game feel less smooth when you're running around doing side quests, because it means that the load screens are really long. You have to teleport everywhere. You can't now. This is not right. Shit. Can I make it up along that thing? I think the pointless travel serves a point. Yeah, that's true. We gotta give credit where credit's due. I like the empty travel in Shadow of the Colossus. It lets you kind of feel the emptiness of the universe. Proves the pacing between each of the colossi. For some reason, I don't get that feeling in this game though. Like, because of the absolute emptiness of Shadow of the Colossus, there is literally nothing for you to do. Maybe pick up lizards, you know? Like, its purpose becomes really clear. But in this game, it just feels like this is just kind of a pain in the ass. Busy work. There's enemies to fight, and you're like, oh, I've played video games before. If there's enemies to fight, I should fight them. But realistically, you shouldn't just sit there and grind on all the rando enemies you run into. It's not really worth your effort. Now, you visit each boss location once, so you're getting kind of a unique look at those areas. NieR Android would have caused legal problems with Google. Oh, that's interesting. I like Automata as a title. Yeah. Right. That's what makes Shadow of the Colossus work, I think. That it doesn't really make any half-assed attempts at populating its empty space. Maybe this is right? This looks like it's close. Maybe I'll drop and fall off. Cool, thank you for your help and patience. Great. Wait. Is this gonna get me in trouble if I drop down here? I don't think there's anywhere else for me to climb up on. Android sounds exotic in Japanese. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Thank you. Hey, look at that. They've got little pickups telling me that I can land on top of that. That's pretty good conveyance. Thanks, game. Go to that one and then that one. Like parts of the environment look like they're jumpable, but they're not really. I was about to say, if that one shunted me off, I was going to be very sad. Thank God.
We got this, Marstead.
First try.
First try.
Okay, what do we got here? Probably Intel, I guess. Old world. Thou shalt not live on level ground. The rule has its origins in a tragic past. We masked people who originally inhabited the plains along the coast, but one day our village was destroyed by a great wall of water. Interesting. Is that connected in some way to NieR 1, or are they talking about like Noah's
I should
Ark?
probably tell Emil about this lunar tube.
So you already know.
I didn't even contact you yet. Emil, are you okay?
I just remembered.
It's a reference to NieR 1. Okay.
Thank you again. You've helped me remember an important place.
Oh?
A place very special to him. In thanks, I'll tell you how to visit it. Please take this key.
What's it for?
It'll let you access the elevator in the shopping mall. You should head there whenever you have the time. I'm sorry. I need to stay here for a while. You go on ahead.
Andrea had a pretty big victory at work today. They had to, they're doing explosion testing, and they had to do something where they had to measure 2 wires to be exactly the same length, like to within a nanometer or something. Or maybe not a nanometer, but very, very precise measurement. And it was right on the first try. They didn't have to cut it and redo it and take it back out of the site, so that's very exciting. I've been trying to explain to lay people what Andrea is doing right now. I don't know most of the details because a lot of it's classified, just the unclassified stuff. Yeah. First try, indeed.
First try.
Actually. The thing that I know, what it sounds like to me, is that it's like they're trying to build a computer. For those of you who have built a PC before, you know how you get to the end of the building the PC process and then you press the power button? And then usually it doesn't work, so then you go and you flip the switch or you remember to plug it in. It's like that level of stress, except when you press the power button, there's an explosion that destroys your computer. And you either collected data when you press power or you didn't, and it's gone forever. So, pretty stressful stuff. They're doing their thing on Thursday. Yeah. They're hoping that when the explosion happens that their hardware is set up to be able to read the explosion, and if they screw it up, it's just gone. They have to start over. Yeah. They need the precise length of wire to get to the explosion testing. I should also tell Andrea she should be referencing that Futurama quote with the various lengths of wire. Alright. Let's go into the shopping mall. Some cool old world stuff down here. Gonna go t-shirt shopping. No, this is pretty. What a thrill.
Wow. Look at all the lunar tears.
We're gonna fight the boss down here.
Thank you for coming.
No probs, dude.
What is this place?
It's the place from my memories that I worked so hard to protect. Or, to be exact, the place protected by the person I used to be.
Sorry. I don't get it.
A long time ago, I was created to be a weapon. A weapon that could adapt to any environment, and one capable of total destruction.
Are you able to tell me anything about Emil from the first NieR, or is it pretty big spoilers for that game?
I decided to strengthen that weapon by creating copies of myself.
Interesting.
So, in truth, I'm only one of a countless number of Emils.
That's cool. Like little flying saucers.
We, I guess, worked
Sounds good,
with each
Prop.
other
Thanks.
to keep our defensive lines intact. But the more of ourselves we created, the more our original memories began to fade.
Yeah, I'm with you. I appreciate it.
The original Emil liked this place a lot. He spent a lot of time here with people he loved. They were tough times, sad times. But the memories of that journey were his greatest treasure. And I have a few traces of those memories in my own mind.
Oh, this song is in NieR 1?
Where's the original Emil now?
I don't know. There were so many of us that after a while, we just...
Oh.
And there's still something that all of us Emils need to settle. Ah, right. I should probably repay you for all of your help. Please take this. It's
Gave
said
me a
that
lunar
a
tear.
lunar tear can make any wish come true.
Thank you.
Oh, no.
Good job, 2B.
I'm the one who should be thanking you.
Could have been a
You've
jerk
helped me
about
find some
that.
of my precious memories. Now I'll be able to keep pushing forward, even if I'm alone. You've helped me find some of my precious memories.
This is a key item that's gonna matter for a secret ending kind of a thing. Gold ore, animal bait. I need a large gear. Nani? I am thou. Okay. So if we ever want to go experience Snake Eater, we can go down the elevator. Alright, so now I can pretty safely pop in the flying suits. I might take a quick break to run to the restroom. Yeah. And we'll give you this lunar tier. Equip. Oh. Okay. That's cute. I think the save point was back out this way. Pop there, we'll warp, and then I'll be back in a couple minutes. Are there many cosmetics in this game, or is that the only one?
Don't let up! The enemy is among us!
Don't let any intruder get in!
We must protect our king!
A few bows. Okay. If that was the only one, it wouldn't surprise me. It seems like the kind of par for the course for this game. It's kind of that Final Fantasy XIV effect where there's like little veins of diamonds all over the place, and then there's just a lot of stuff that's okay. All right. I guess I pushed a box. Oh shit! A video game that I have to test that has fourth wall breaking bugs that I have to look for? That's cool. Oh, I'm escorting a robot. Oh wow, there's like a reference to the original NieR and he gives me an equipable cosmetic. The difficulty in like being able to tell the difference between the two when just playing through the game is what's challenging. You could pretty easily, I think, avoid all the side quests because your first few exposures to them are 20 bore asses kind of quests. I'm gonna run down over to the flying things here. Nines could wear a pretty flower. Get a pink bow from the little girl escort quest. Oh yeah, that's right, somebody mentioned that last session. Because everything doesn't have to be, like, meat all the time. It sometimes helps to have a variety of junk in addition to your meat, right? Like, we always talk about how in a card game like Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone, you have to make some bad cards. They can't all be good. There's design reasons for that. But it can be really challenging when it's difficult for the player to at a glance read whether something's going to give them like this pod that I got from fishing in this area for no reason, you know. Pretty major effect on the overall gameplay versus pushing a box. Alright, we'll be back in a couple minutes after another restroom. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins. Alright, and after taking this path, there's basically no more side quests. Thanks, Game Saucer! 12 months! Nice! Appreciate it, man.
You're super awesome.
Indeed.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. The shooting sequences are always level synced to you, right? Just they realize that they wouldn't play well if they weren't. Oh man, I was really wanting to watch Tomato. Does he have a schedule posted for how long he's going to do that? Go watch that. Don't watch me do, you know, what I'm guessing is going to be the same couple hours of the ending of NieR again. He's playing FF6 and he rigged up this really cool thing that whenever text appears on screen, it also shows you the translation from the GBA version, I think also from the mobile version. What were the two other things he was adding? Yeah. Go watch that. You don't want to watch NieR Automata. You've seen the interesting stuff today. Clyde Mandolin, at least throw him on in another tab. Throw him the view. Someone can do a shout out to his channel. He ends at the same time as me? No! Bummer, I was hoping to throw him a host at the end.
Attention, this is Carrier Blue Ridge 2. Requesting support from any friendly units in range.
I'm just gonna throw him on over here in the other tab while we do the Smash TV stuff. Nah, it's cool. I actually don't watch very much Twitch outside of GDQ. I had watched one stream before I became a streamer. I had watched Twitch Plays Pokemon when it started to become viral. That's fair, Spiky. Maybe I'm being unfair to the game. Like, the actual vanilla game has been pretty close to the 2B playthrough so far. I've been a couple extra cutscenes here and there. We've seen some new stuff with Adam and Eve. We got those weird, like, hieroglyphic sequences. So maybe this part will be really cool and super different. But if I recall, it was like Become as Gods, fairly long dungeon, the giant ball boss. The sequence was how long in the first playthrough? Alright, I'm not always allowed to hack. Gotcha. It was like 2 or 3 hours, maybe? Mario 64 at Ocarina of Time speedrunners. It must have been a really cool community to watch evolve. I love how some of those like super intense speedrun communities are coming up with new ways to continue to make it interesting, like Ocarina of Time Bingo. Isn't that scheduled for GDQ this year?
Well, that's new.
Aw, you're kind, Propaganda. Oh, you know, actually there was a part in the 2B playthrough where 9S got all fucked up. 2B had to go find him, so maybe we'll spend like an hour unconscious as 9S, waiting for 2B to rescue us. Maybe there'll be some cool mental hacking game. streaming drove people to push speedruns. I know speedrunning was a thing for a really long time. Like, I remember people submitting times in games to like Game Informer.
It's blocking close range attacks with EMP blast.
Such a natural, cool thing for streaming, though.
Operator 210 to 9S. Command has decided to stage a direct satellite laser strike on the hostile. We need you to destroy the enemy EMP generator so we can lock onto the target.
EMP generator?
Sending the coordinates to your map now.
Save Yu-Gi-Oh! Forgotten Memories?
Confirmed. Marking on map.
I haven't heard that story, Aki.
Destroy the generator quickly.
Dude, that would be rad, Propagable. My favorite part of this whole game was the annoying part where you were jumping around with a bucket on a shitty robot, and how Yoko Taro made you do it 3 times. That was the best part. Like, and you can maybe argue that part only worked because of all the other stupid bullshit in the game up to that point. Oh, you shushed him. Alright, so we're just gonna do a time skip, so the ending will be a little bit faster.
The only known record of this machine life form is a lone
That's
sighting
fine. At least it won't be as long.
Upon reaching land, the unit unleashed a devastating electromagnetic wave attack. All resistance fighters in the vicinity were annihilated.
So basically, if this thing reaches land, we're screwed.
Yep. Well, and maybe stuff will get cool after the time skip when we get to the next playthrough, so maybe don't go to Tomato's stream. But be sure to watch the VOD. I'm sure it's going to be cool. It's a really neat concept. He's been tweeting about it for a while. I know I put a lot of work into the idea. Let me hack the thing. I want to hack the thing. Break something off first, I guess. Still can't hack it. Alright. I guess maybe that's just reminding me to press triangle after I pop these things. They're never hackable. Pop the shield off. Okay, I understand. Whoa.
Elimination of electromagnetic interference. Stand by for incoming satellite laser strike.
Old PlayStation 1 game was extremely underrated and didn't get played much because it ventured far from the normal game mechanics. Speedruns happen to get really popular again. Yeah.
Oh, come on! It's got an electromagnetic
Like to the extent that, well, Konami owns Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Are they making new Yu-Gi-Oh games at all, or have they abandoned the property like everything else?
Having trouble over there?
Are you Yorha?
Hunter Squadron deploying out of North 12th C Defense HQ. I'm the commanding officer, 4B. Don't
4B.
worry, we'll take it from here.
They make mobile Yu-Gi-Oh games?
Let's leave this area to the reinforcements. I have an idea. You and I should meet up at the spot I just marked.
Oh, they still publish new cards. Okay.
We've got mortars lining the shoreline here. All the EMP shielding in the world won't help against close-range mortar fire.
Got it.
I'll help aim.
That's cool. I like it.
This thing's armor is too thick. We need more firepower.
2B, let's try for a more direct approach.
Direct? Oh, right.
That's right. Lay down some fire in its stupid mouth.
I'm supposed to hack her, right? Is that what's happening here? No, I'm hacking the console. Okay. And each time I do that, I'm firing a shot. It's cool and easy. It's just the most basic hacking game possible. Yeah. A cardboard crack. How does Yu-Gi-Oh handle making cards illegal if they're too strong? They do something similar to like the standard rotation in Magic. Hearthstone has standard now too, right?
We gotta bail, 2B. This is bad.
Ban limited and semi-limited list. Okay. Oh, but there's no like standard format. All the cards are legal except the ones that are banned.
Right, 2B?
Ban or restrict them before they come out.
That enormous machine is an ancient weapon.
Playing this over a long gap in time with sub-blocks and bonus streams has been good for some of this being feeling more new on additional playthroughs, right? If you haven't played NieR before, and I haven't convinced you not to, I would recommend leaving a pretty big gap between each ending. Power creep.
Hey, 2B, I think I have another idea. You keep that thing right where it is, okay?
What?
Please, 2B, this is gonna work. I'm going to see if we can use those missiles back on the shore. But I need you to destroy the EMP unit on that thing
New
fast.
mechanics.
Otherwise, it's just going to go off course.
This is new because 9S is by himself. Yeah, I agree, Serp. I think there's a way to do it that's interesting, and this game's definitely moving more in that direction where the second playthrough has quite a bit of content that doesn't overlap with the first one. But like Bravely Default, for example, like it's because it doesn't have any sort of fast forward mechanic. Like this game gets credit for giving you the hacking mechanic that makes most of the boss fights really trivial. Right, so it doesn't take just as long to beat it the second time. I guess the thing that makes it surprising is that 9S is actually around for most of 2B's playthrough. So a lot of the content has to be repeated because of that. And I guess part of it is they want to make sure that on your second playthrough you can get the side quests you missed, so it wouldn't be appropriate to just fast forward through the parts that they have in common. Or play like a quick movie reminding you of it. Let's see, I've played a game that does that. I'm trying to remember what it was. Or they've definitely seen movies that'll do that. So that's a fairly standard trope of like a time travel story, right? Where if you want to imply that the character is living through the same events over and over, like Steins Gate or Edge of Tomorrow, you do so through a pretty quick montage. But for whatever reason in video games we're like, yeah, we can actually make you do all that again. Like, is that a good narrative decision? Yeah. What's that ProZD thing about? You want to collect eggs? There's 900 eggs you could collect. Do I have to? Oh, it's optional. You don't have to do it. Not unless you want to get the true ending. Skip functions for scene content. That's a nice way to do it.
I didn't think this would be so hard to control.
Alert. Obstacle
Oh, this is neat. I like this.
Speed is not recommended.
Well aware, thank you.
I like that that wasn't just a cutscene. Even though I don't think I could have failed it.
Signal lost.
Doki Doki skips until it's new content, doesn't it?
2B. 9S. Don't die on me.
Yeah, major branches are also fine. Doesn't really bother me.
The child held sway over enormous strength. But sadly, he was also a little bit broken. He spent his long days hurting those around him.
It has a generous idea of
He
what new
tried his
content
best
is.
to be good and kind. But despite his efforts, things never seemed to turn out.
Cool.
They told him he was unwanted. They abandoned him in the deep, dark ocean.
That's
And from the cold,
must have been interesting to shoot that,
he cried out,
to render that.
"Mother, mother, mother, mother." But his voice never reached his mother.
Cool. Nobody came.
This is Tactical Support Unit Pod 042, assigned to 2B.
This is Tactical Support Unit Pod
Don't use the auto
153,
fire, or
assigned
I'll
to
know.
9S.
We pods often participate in the same battles. Exchanging our situational data would theoretically allow us to plan combat strategies in a more efficient manner. Proposal: data should be transferred regularly between Pod 042 and Pod 153.
Analysis. This idea is sound. Proposal accepted. Records will be organized in time for the next situational exchange.
I feel like that scene was in the 2B playthrough as well, wasn't it? Or at least we've seen something similar before. But I feel like they're trying to plant... Oh, cool. Is this hacking space? Is this the meaning of hacking space? Earlier in the 9S playthrough. I find myself in a bizarre memory storage area stretching as far as I can see. It's a maze, a labyrinth, a massive interconnected network. I've never seen anything like it. Sweet. This is what I was hoping they were going to do in the unconscious sequence. Good use of the hacking minigame design space. I like there's narration here. Whee! Recovery program managed to restore most of my memory functions. Still can't establish a link to my body. The politics category are records of the machine's own governmental endeavors. Absolute monarchies, republics, democracies. They also engage in other scholarly pursuits such as philosophy, mathematics, science, and social criticism. Huh. I like where they're going with this. I'm excited to see where it's going to go next. This part is super up my alley. Find no indication of the machines creating new culture or values, they only imitate human behavior. Strange thing is, if a unit fails, it fails in exactly the same way the next time. The machine forms a dictatorship that eventually collapses, it won't try a new type of government, it just forms a new dictatorship. Thanks, Prop. Why do they insist on imitating humanity? It's almost as if the objective is failure itself. No, all androids. Alrighty. This is great. I want More of this. I announced all androids. The word shimmer into focus. Hey, music and typography in this kind of remind me of Lost Odyssey. Machine made in the image of man. We machine life forms have evolved. We made war, learned, grew, and thus we have gained a new consciousness. Nothing but lies from mere machines. Adam laughs, and yet you androids claim to be alive? How very odd. You are puppets who lack even your own free will. Perhaps you have a will after all. True meaning of life is hatred. Cool. We're not the same as you machines. Yeah, about that. Spider-Man pointing .gif. All who live are slaves to desire. Such internal appetites are what give our lives meaning. Some seek beauty, others serenity. For me, hatred is... Don't trust anything. I like all the typing noises that happened before you destroy everything. Lost hope in everything. This is just like Lost Odyssey. I want to be loved by all. Think about how much you want to fuck 2B, aren't you? Nice. In Japanese, it's a lot more ambiguous. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty clear what they mean. Cool. Cool.
Each of the machines treated their treasures with great care. One treasured family above all else. Another treasured its older sibling.
Like know in Hebrew, to know.
Another treasured its own beauty. But one more machine treasured something unique above all else.
It's an apple.
Hate.
Hey, look at that.
Is this death? So dark, so cold.
Neat.
9S!
You know, I'm still thinking that they should have started with the 9S playthrough, even though mechanically it works better as a second playthrough. From a story perspective, I'd be a lot more invested in this whole 2B 9S relationship in that order.
Come on. Let's go home.
Oh, short propagable. But somewhere. Said a decent number of people, like, during the hype week when this came out, the streamers only played through to the first ending and then stopped. At the first ending, I was like, I feel like the game didn't earn this. And it's, like, retroactively earning it now, which is kind of a cool concept. I think we talked about this as soon as the 9S playthrough started, and I realized what was going on, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Something where, like, self-hack. Okay.
Proposal. Engage memory core diagnostics.
Yeah.
A single reply is sufficient for acknowledgement.
Yeah. Trying to think of other media that only come together at the end and aren't as enjoyable until the end, you know?
Proposal. Engage visual sensor diagnostics.
You got it.
I think when I brought it up last time, we brought up a couple movies that are more interesting after you get to the end and know what happens. Like Memento, for example.
All checks complete.
But not ones that feel like they didn't earn it the first pass.
Overkill to perform a full data overhaul?
Unit 9S was seized by the enemy and placed in a non-controlled state for an extended period of time. There is a high probability of corruption by an enemy logic virus.
All right. Cram it. Anyway, I just gotta sync up with the bunker server and then I'm out of here, right?
Right. I think that's the difference, Serp. That moment of, oh, the author's been planting this all along and I see how all the pieces fit together, which is different from this game's approach to it. But I'm trying to, like, elucidate that or
what was that?
Put it into words.
Unknown.
Halt the data sync.
Alert. Data synchronization
Really
is
homestuck.
mandatory for all Yorha units.
Yeah, I know that, but we just got some kind of weird noise. Halt the data sync for 2B as well.
Affirmative.
Let's figure out where that noise came from. Just to be sure, you know? Open a port to the server.
I think something that's important is acknowledging audience confusion. Like, you don't want the characters in your story to act like they understand something completely. If the audience isn't expected to understand it completely yet, right? It kind of gives it tell the audience, like, there's still more. Hold on. We'll give you more context here.
No time to examine everything. Better stick to the main data nodes.
I love this sequence. Yeah, I agree. This whole part, like, the Lost Odyssey sequence with the text was fantastic.
Detected. Yorha unit storage records.
Oh yeah, that's awful, Kami. 9S. 12D lost. 2B. There's a yes and a no. 9S has an N, 2B has a Y. I wonder what that's a list of. That's cool.
What's the point of all this heavy security? All the black box data has been deleted, but it looks like everything else is here.
Yeah, right, Aki. An example of a story where it's a problem that the characters know more than the audience is Attack of the Clones. There's no fish out of water, Luke Skywalker, Titus protagonist character in that movie. So everybody's talking about things that the characters clearly understand and it never gets explained to anybody.
Access log to Council of Humanity's lunar server.
December 24th, shipped. December 25th, delivery, scheduled. Purified water, empty, repair materials. My guess, and don't confirm or disconfirm,
Looks like records for supplies shipped to the moon.
is that a lot more time has passed than we think.
Containers.
We've maybe been looping for a long time.
Why would they do that?
That is weird. Why would they do that?
Huh? A new port just opened.
Yeah. Have to be careful. I like having the wave function on collapse. Sometimes you'll guess and I was like, no, that's not it. Damn it. Alright.
Detected. Council of Humanity and Project Yorha Records Index. Alert.
They seemed like they were going for that within the first couple hours of the game, though, that maybe more time had passed than it appeared.
I need to check this out, too.
Suspiciously like a theory. What? 9S explained.
An attack barrier? Really? Why the heck would they install one of those
Super
in this
Mario
server?
explained. Documents are classified. Level S, confidential, are not to be disclosed to any persons affiliated with the Yorha aside from the commander. Administration Command, Council of Humanity Development Department, Backdoor, Support Units, Black Box. Okay.
Let's see. Looks like info about how the Council of Humanity was formed as part of Project Yorha. Wait, isn't that backwards?
Cool.
Grant me the mercy of the land. Grant me the joy of the heavens. Release me from my yoke of iron. Thus shall our souls.
What was that?
Cool.
Crap! Did they find me?
Negative. Emergency backup request from 2B.
Oh,
Close
right.
the server connection and activate my body.
Affirmative.
Yeah. There's only a few games that really warrant that sort of treatment. Like, I think that Miyazaki's Soulsborne games do.
What happened?
It's frustrating when they start applying it to, like, Super Mario Brothers explained.
We received a support request from 2B soon thereafter, but have been unable to respond due to poor reception.
All right, I'll try to gain access from the main terminal.
Main terminal. Okay, let me save. Fungus is confusing.
Use of server administration room requested.
Nice, Chaos. When's it expected to start now? Never seen a Skyward Sword
You may
speedrun.
now use the device in this room.
Oh, it's long? Okay. I was gonna ask if they do any shenanigans to... Because the game itself is, other than Breath of the Wild, still the longest Zelda.
Okay, good. 2B's black box signal is still up and running.
No, this is cool.
These comms are all messed up. Guess I'll have to break into the other side and take control.
Yeah, it's my little guy. Oh, cool. It's like a world map. This sequence is neato. Demise blindfolded? Oh. Interesting.
Now I just have to unlock the door where 2B is.
Okay. This is fantastic. I'm on board the NieR hype train again, folks. I basically alternate between really hating and really loving this game.
If I want to reach 2B, I'll need to reach the factory's lower level first.
Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I was lucky. Become as gods. Greatest ship playthrough, occasionally featuring 9S. Well, this guy's actually weaker than the fire guy. He's quite a bit slower. I probably shouldn't have done that. Torch guys are better. Oops, I didn't mean to destroy him. Whoops. Oh well. Cultist android tier list. Yeah, it's like Ghost Trick. This is super duper cool. I am the biggest fan. This game actually reminds me a lot in its pacing to, oh, that's cool. She's just running around murdering all of them. Oh no, they're just fighting each other. I see.
What happened to all of you?
Wait, one sec. Gotcha. Vigorously shaking his hand and then punching him in the face. Okay, sorry. Final Fantasy XIV has a very similar pacing of kind of stupid bullshit and fucking amazing, incredible, best in the industry stuff. And it gets frustrating to keep track of what is stupid bullshit and what is amazing. And it definitely makes you work for the amazing stuff. Yeah, it makes you dash backwards. I have never punched anyone. I have been punched. Hopefully I make it to the endgame stat screen without ever having punched anyone. That'd be a good death achievement unlock. Very deserved. I've wanted to punch somebody once. That's about it. Alright, round 2. Hey, axe fellow, can I be you? No, you not your friendo? No, I can't use this at all. Okay. Punch someone for a negligible benefit, sure. No, am I actually supposed to be in that room? Yeah, there's a lot of design space for just this hacking playstyle. There's a lot you could do with this idea alone.
Look at all these broken machines. A few still look usable. Better send these coordinates to the bunker, just in case.
Give me that axe. The axe one's nice and quick. Two-handed axe. Oh, but technically he wasn't facing away from me? Okay, I understand. Works for me. So, I was saying earlier that I felt like the, I'll just pause here. The 9S, to be caring for 9S thing wasn't really earned in the first playthrough, and then it's adding context in the second playthrough, and that's actually kind of cool. And I do think that is neat. Like, it's sort of like the movie that weird stuff keeps happening in the film, and then there's basically a flashback sequence that shows you the context for all the things and makes you go, oh, I get it. I see why this weird random robot showed up and said, I'm 9S. So I do like it.
A few still look usable. Better send these coordinates to the bunker, just in case.
I think the important thing to do is to communicate to the audience, to wink in some way, either through character dialogue or through your scene design, that you know that they're confused. Some enemies are perpetually hostile. Be the flying guy? He seems cool. That's neat. Someone to go into a coma before you appreciate them. Yeah, this whole sequence is rad. Note how it has a lot of unique challenge sequences. So that if here's another room of robots you have to fight with the same skill set you've had for the whole game up to this point. Ow.
Everyone shall die and become gods.
Yeah, about that. I go up here? They want me to go up here? No. Thank you, Forced Perspective. Letting me die for no reason there. You tell them, robots. Whoa, I don't know what just happened there. That was level 8. I could have controlled the level 8 guy. I wanted to keep this one because I liked having the gun. And he can fly, and that totally matters, I'm sure. Now I am the bullet hell.
Alright, if I can hack this elevator and get it running, I can get 2B in.
Don't worry, don't murder me.
2B! It's me, 9S!
9S?
I hacked into this machine from the bunker. I'm controlling it. I'm gonna break into these factory systems and get you out of here.
Appreciated.
Cool. Hacking into factory system. Oh, awesome.
Secure an escape route.
Oh, this is so rad. I feel like I just played through 4 hours of Final Fantasy XIV main story fetch questing, and now I'm fighting the trial boss.
First door unlocked. 2B, keep going straight.
Will do.
Bonus lore. Project Gestalt. Didn't someone say that was the name of the game in Japan in a previous session? A really cool word. Proliferation of the white chlorination syndrome that emerged in 2003, alongside the appearance of the giant and dragon, has continued unabated. Outbreaks are now being observed on a global scale. Despite being researched in laboratories across the world, not only have there been no breakthroughs in the development of a vaccine to prevent infection, to ascertain how it even spreads. Many technological breakthroughs have been made as a result of research conducted on the Maso particle that was discovered at the same time. Confident the technology enables the separation of the soul from the body, and the independent preservation of both will be the final defense against the unprecedented threat to humanity we now face. Neat. Okay. Well, it ties in with the whole concept they're talking about, with there being humans still alive on the moon. Oh, okay. Is that mostly a reference to the plot of the original NieR? Like a lot of these same puzzles from this different angle. It's pretty neat.
Door 2 disabled. The door's open. Keep moving.
All right.
this part. Ah! Son of a bitch. I can only get hit so many times in this whole place, so I'm gonna play it carefully. Not like that. Yeah, I saw that. Charging for carry-ons. They've been doing basic for a while, Leon, which is one fewer carry-on. And they're like, oh, we're making it cheaper for you. I was like, that's not how that works. Protests in opposition to the spiritual preservation method that was disclosed as level 1 information related to Project Gestalt sprung up in all areas. As people storing souls. Many continues to receive formal complaints from our research team regarding the collection of biased data as a result of the Gestalt process being conducted on the sick and elderly. The number of civilians having undergone the process remains at 4. Public Relations Department will be established in order to better control information and improve our image. Cool. It's very neat. I like all the little scarecrows in here. Gestalt and Replicant, and the major difference between the two is the protagonist looks middle-aged in Gestalt and a late teenager in Replicant. Really? And they were both two versions, like Pokemon Red and Blue versions? Huh. Is there anything else that's different about them, or even less different than Pokemon Blue and Red? Oh, I see. Received a report from the laboratory indicating that the basic technology of the replicant system is expected to be completed by the end of August. Verifications of its safety along with clinical trials will be conducted from September through November. A report will be submitted to the Prime Minister indicating that the completion of the replicant system will represent a tremendous leap forward. Cool. I see where they're taking this. The West likes big burly protagonists and Japan likes fishy boys. Huh. Yeah, I would have taken, given a choice. I'm excited to start seeing more games that have older protagonists in them. It's not always grizzled teenagers. I wonder why that's so popular. I heard talking to Kat about the hip-hop community right now, like a lot of these SoundCloud rappers are celebrating youth, borderline like worshipping youth in a lot of their work, and it's troublesome because talk about like the most unsustainable philosophy you could possibly have.
Exit route secure.
Thanks. Alert. 2B is currently engaging a machine life form of significant ability. Said machine is drawing electrical power from the factory itself. Proposal. Infiltrate the factory's mainframe and shut off the power.
Youth worship has been a thing for a long time, but
I've been keeping an eye on you. I'm gonna shut off power to the factory now. Do it.
boss for sure. Whoa, look at this big area, and I only have 1 hit point left, so I'm about to die.
Factory system at 20% control. You have to hold out for me, 2B.
Puts the hell in bullet. Ah, shit. That was kind of him to put me back here. This is more of a story sequence.
Factory system at 50% control. Now we just have to do something about this core.
Working on it. Yeah, I wish that more of the hacking minigames throughout the games did like really big arenas like this one, especially the boss fights, right? They really could have explored the design space more. Oh, there are exactly 100 guys in here. Cool. Thank God I don't have to fight that ball again. I suppose that's true. Not necessarily that they have to be big, but there's a lot of things you can do with that fairly simple shooting minigame.
After a long period
And a lot of the
battles
bosses we
and
fought so
adventures,
far were
the
just kind of
prophets
really
spoke.
simple variations on the normal hacking
Grant
minigame.
me the mercy of the land. Oh,
Think
grant
about
me the joy of the
how
heavens.
much Undertale explores the
Release me
design
from
space
my
of a
yoke of
small
iron.
white box and a
Thus
heart,
shall our
right?
souls be saved.
Compared to how much more room
Forever
you
and
have
ever.
with this shooting game.
Forever
Amen.
and ever.
That ball was my nemesis. And then the game
Those
froze.
were the words I heard in the moon server. But why?
Alert. 2B has defeated the Goliath-class heavy weapon unit.
Right. Okay, good.
Let's save. So we haven't in forever.
9S.
Commander.
I'm sorry. You're needed back at command.
Understood.
Okie dokie. What's the most efficient form of locomotion in this game? Is it spamming dash, or is it dashing once and then just running? I can't tell if it's... I think spamming dash might be a little bit faster. Sup?
You
Spamming
left
dash.
quite a trail when you accessed the main server.
That's what I wanted to speak with you about, Commander. I found records stating that the Council of Humanity was established as part of Project Yorha, but I'd always heard it was the other way around. So did Yorha actually create the Council of Humanity?
Yes. We installed the Council of Humanity's server on the surface of the moon.
But that means...
Mankind no longer exists.
Hey, yay. That seemed to be, they seem to be really heavily hinting at that in like the first hour of the game. Right, Prop Cable?
God. Oh my God! Although actually it was sort of obvious.
Yeah.
In truth, humans never went to the moon at all.
Well, that's not true.
Any transmissions received from the moon are just dummy signals we set up in advance. The only thing there is a small bit of data relating to the human genome.
Cool.
But why would you...
Humans were already extinct when the aliens attacked.
Ooh.
All the details are stored
Right,
on
because
this
we were just
memory
reading
chip.
about the disease and they were trying to back up people's souls because the diseases and wipe them out
I
anyway.
won't stop you.
People complain about how obvious it was. I mean, that just means that it's planted well, right? Like, the characters have no reason to figure that out. I think that it's intended that the... I don't know. If a twist is obvious, that means that's just, it's good storytelling.
Wait, you're just giving me this? But why?
No one fights without a reason.
As long as they don't spend a ton of time on the
God
characters
worth
being
dying
shocked by
for.
it, right? What? We need a god worth dying for.
What path will you take? It's up to you to decide.
That was cool. Our first time seeing a close of a face-up. Yeah, close of a close-up.
Why? Why did you have to die?
The doll from Bloodborne, you can see that.
Not fair. My only brother. Damn them.
My favorite twists are the ones where they keep building it until you start to suspect it immediately before the reveal. That's how Kingdom Hearts 1, or not Kingdom Hearts, the hell am I talking about? Knights of the Old Republic.
Gone.
Knights of the Old Republic 1 has a twist that's built up to and you suspect it right before it happens. So does Jade Empire. Actually, BioWare is really good at nailing that story pacing and reveal pacing. I wanted to read that intel. Hold up. Project Yorha has a comprehensive information project intended to enhance android morale. This entry details the circumstances that led to its proposal, as well as information related to operations conducted during its individual phases. Following the collapse of Project Gestalt around 3400 CE, the remaining androids searched for a way to revive humanity. They are unable to discover an answer, and humans went extinct by roughly 4200. Afterwards, the genes of Gestalts and structural information of the remaining replicants were recorded and sent to a storage facility on the moon. The news of humanity's extinction was meant to be a closely guarded secret, but rumors of the event eventually began to leak out. Having lost the one thing which they were programmed to protect, android morale began a precipitous decline. Concerned by this turn of events, Command designed Project Yorha as a means to lift android spirits. That's awesome. Oh, this is so fucking cool. This setting is rad again. First stage of the project was spreading the word among resistance groups that humanity was not in fact extinct, that the last remaining remnants had managed to escape to the moon. This deception was supported by installing a communication server on the lunar surface to send regular transmissions. Said server was designed to be manned by as few maintenance personnel as possible. The dramatic alteration of the next-generation combat unit project that had been proposed at the time, new Yorha models began to be manufactured. Additional models were created following the implementation of data acquired from an experimental squadron, were then deployed to all regions. Certain members of the Yorha operations staff, however, were informed of the full scope of the project. These units were tasked to operate and protect the server on the moon. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. It's got to be painful, you know, when there's something that's this good that's worth getting to. But Final Fantasy XIV is really the best comparison I can make. It's like, I have tried to get so many people to play that game, and they just cannot make it through the bullshit. And sometimes it's worth it, you know? I don't know if this would be as cool if I didn't have to suffer so much to get to it. Not that this game is that bad, compared to, like, 14's fetch quests, which are actual suffering. The proliferation of the white chlorination syndrome that emerged in 2003... Oh, wait, this is what we just read, isn't it? Okay. They just saved it for us if I wanted to read it later. Gotcha. Did I miss one? Or I missed a couple? Is that something I can unlock elsewhere, or was it something I didn't explore in the last little hacking sequence? Shipping records, Yorha, body storage, council, Yorha records. Okay. Sweet. Not all the Gestalt reports are in there. Okay, thanks.
How do I tell 2B?
Emergency protocol, Code Act 2. All
The lock chest. Okay.
combat stations immediately. Repeat, emergency
It's like the
protocol,
Anson
Code Act 2.
reports.
All Yorha members are to report to combat stations immediately.
Combat stations? I better get a move on.
You do that with your short pants.
Alert. Mission orders received. Rendezvous with and support Unit 2B near the Resistance Camp.
Any details?
Large numbers of machine life forms are rampaging through the city ruins.
What? How? They're supposed to be weakened.
Cause unknown. Goliath-class enemies also confirmed. Immediate action advised.
Contact from command. Alert status raised to level 4. Repeat.
I've gone from... I should go back and watch the VODs after this and make like a graph of how hype I am about this game. Like, it started, the whole opening sequence was really, really high, and the opening world sequence was a nosedive, and then it kind of faltered a bit for a while and had little bumps here and there as they did some cool stuff mechanically and story-wise, and now it's like higher than it was at the beginning of the game because all that story stuff is super rad. Bottoms out when your game crashes. Yeah, I was pretty depressed after that. Fortunately, I was able to off-stream go do it. I haven't had too many games that have been a roller coaster like that. Whoa, this is cool.
2B, you okay?
Alert. All communications are currently being jammed.
This is awesome.
Hurry.
Excuse you. Now, is that the first time they've actually shown us descending to the Earth? I don't remember that happening previously.
Goliath-class enemy sighted.
Where's 2B?
2B's black box signal detected nearby.
Yeah.
She is likely
I could see,
engaged in combat.
from a storytelling perspective, concealing that on purpose to kind of raise some red herring questions.
You okay?
Good thing I landed that direct hit. Uh-oh.
You'll die. All of you are going to die.
The ball was the jerkwad the whole time.
Fine. Let's take this bastard down.
Right.
Begin hacking. Keep it up. No! Dang it, Bobby. Another one down there that I can't quite safely get to. Nice. Right? Okay. Ugh. Shoot. That one's a bit harder. Right, we need to do like a shitload of damage to him to pop him out, and that's when we actually hurt him, so hacking him is kind of pointless right now, I think. Oh, I know I am actually hurting him, it looks like. See, his true health is reduced. Keep that up then. That was the low point. That was the flat line. Come on. Hey, so, let's see. Well, okay, I guess I'll ask later. I feel like we're coming up at the end of, this route. I'm wondering if it makes sense to end early, depending on when this route ends, rather than start whatever the next route is. But I'll wait until we get to the end of it to question about it. Oh, really? Yeah, let me get to the end of it. It's gonna be a pretty clear, like, save your game sequence, like the first one, right? So I can stop there, look at what time it is, and then make a call. I'm not. Ouch. So anyway, after this boss, he had like 2 forms after this. There'll be a clear ending. Okay. Thanks. Yeah. Excuse me. I never did get my level 4 weapon for the next playthrough. Oh well. I need to get one more large gear and didn't know where to go to get it. Right! Snake asshole form.
They're still coming? What do we do? There's too many.
2B? 2B, can you hear me? Our village is under...
Pascal? Come in, Pascal! Shit!
Head to Pascal's village. Don't know why they do that. Pausing in this game. Where am I? Am I allowed to warp during this sequence, or is warping disabled because of giant robot snake? I have to run. Okay. I go through the bottom here? I guess there's another way to get there from the top, right? There's that block that I moved, shortcut in the sea ruin somewhere. I honestly still don't know my way around this game world, so... Warping's disabled because of the dramatic tension. I forgot about this part, actually. I mentally deleted. I just remembered there being Ball Boss, and then I remember fighting Eve. All super pissed off. Is it this way? Is this right? Kind of. Hang a right, I guess. Come on. I guess I can climb up here and avoid all those bullets and float over to the thing I'm heading to. Watch it not perk. I just had the vision of me failing to bring the stupid thing out and him falling flat on his face and dying.
Damn it! They're here too!
Right. Thanks, Kai Mom. Good looking out. Machine in the network. There are a lot of games that do explicit commentary on earlier, like, important gaming works. The only one I can think of off the top of my head is Braid.
Sealed off the entrance to the village and are trying to hold them off, but with these weapons, there's only so much we can do.
Let's take these.
I guess Undertale. Although Undertale's a little bit less on the nose than some of the Braid stuff. Come on. Mom chip. Oh, whoops. This is my favorite 8-bit themes in the game. Boss. So, hopefully the next playthrough still has hack. Or, something comparable to do. Oh my god. Really? Because I've completely forgotten how to play NieR Automata. Not that I was doing a very good job in the 2B playthrough. I'm like, why dodge when you can just hack? As long as the enemy doesn't stun lock you. Oh yeah, well there's definitely going to be more playthroughs. Just curious if they are going to abandon this awesome hack mechanic. Shit. Come on. Oops.
You saved us. Oh, thank you so much.
What happened here?
The machines on the network all went berserk at the same moment. I think the unit presiding
It's Eve. It's gotta be.
If we destroy this presiding unit, will it stop the rest?
Most likely, yes.
Pod, I need you to locate Eve's
It's a
current
load-bearing
position.
boss.
Location has been detected and placed on map.
We'll take care of Eve.
You just worry about keeping the village safe, okay?
It's a good thing the block there kept the robots from getting over there as well. Deadzo.
What is this?
He disconnected himself.
Looks like he's bombarding the area with forced connections. I think all these transmissions are making the machines go haywire. We have to find Eve and destroy him.
On it.
No, it's totally true. They've certainly built up to it at this point. It's just such an interesting... It's like so many events in history require the effort and the work of like dozens or hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of people. But you can't really write stories that talk about that large of a group of people. So you almost always have to have, you have to go turn off the shield generator, or you gotta go kill the load-bearing boss, right?
Now what?
Oh, okay. Cool boots.
And here you are. I know you two feel the same. That this world is utterly meaningless.
It's pretty true.
As far as I'm concerned, my brother was everything. And now, everything must die! Why did you kill my brother?
Yeah, I like that that's changed. It's actually literally true this time. Wow, alright. No brute forcing that, turns out. Let's do it carefully now. Oh, this is a much easier minigame. Okay. Just fish for the easy minigame, right? That's something that bums me out about these hack sequences. I kind of wish that they would be unique to a boss so you had to practice it if you were gonna hack it. And I wish they explored the design space better. This is a pretty sweet 8-bit theme. Ow. Do your shots travel through purple? I guess they do, don't they? So orange is nice because you can destroy the shot, but it also blocks your shot, doesn't it? Oh, it's a lot easier now. That was a pain in the butt in the 2B playthrough when he would jump up there. Oh my god, come find you. Yeah, I really like the 8-bit themes. Are there any 8-bit anything in the 2B playthrough? I wonder if you hear it all. Whenever random content is involved. An easy way to replace it. Why don't they just... Oh, when you get hacked in the opera boss, right? Because it's the same little minigame, right?
Massive energy signature.
Massive energy signature, yes, yes.
What is it?
The energy seems to be coming from a large number of linked machine life forms.
This is the easy one. Cue me dying after saying that. It's anywhere you have a lot of walls to hide behind.
it. We'll never get
Oh, I
anywhere
see.
like this. I'm going to try hacking into Eve and shutting him down. Back me up, 2B.
On it.
I just tried to do that. Whoa, that's rad. Very cool. Thank you, game.
Stupid barriers.
It heard me. I see. I'm actually not supposed to be shooting him. And they don't destroy the barriers. Okay. There we go. I did call for authored content. Why goodness. Why golly. Okay. I thought they were implying that he wasn't getting hit by those shots. So that makes more sense now. He wanted to die. He disconnected himself. It was a thing. Jeez, pay attention. Yeah. Right, see that's all I asked for, like, even if the patterns are kind of simple and easy to dodge, just you can trick the player, make them think that it's significantly different. Maybe this only feels so cool because it's the only time it's happened in the game so far, right? Ouch. Try that again. Oh, thanks, game. That was kind of you. One of those things like, is it worth making them suffer through the earlier stages again? Not really. This has an important story point. It's not really meant to be super challenging. Yeah, right? If you play Toho and Ikaruga, then this feels a little easy.
Alert. Disruption detected in Yorha Unit 9S's self-consciousness data. Corruption potential critical. Evacuation recommended.
Can't.
Cool.
Not when I'm this far in.
Cool.
My brother.
Yeah, lack of flavor. Difficulty 2 would be nice, but I feel like this whole hacking minigame in general is a big exercise in flavor, more so than like challenging game mechanics. And that's why you can do a lot of cool stuff with exploring it. That's cool.
Listen to me, Adam. I never disliked fighting, but I didn't want you to be hurt. I especially didn't want to lose you. So let's go somewhere quiet. Together, my brother.
I think it's totally okay for games not to be challenging. That's not always part of the vision of the designer. Doesn't add a lot of value to certain kinds of games. No kidding. Undertale is really solid in that department. It uses its design space for lots of purposes, for storytelling, for actual challenge. Undertale is a game that gives me a lot of joy from a design space exploration perspective because it's such a simple bit of space to explore. They really limit themselves to just that little box. Like, what if we make the box bigger? What if we change the color and change the physics? What if we bind you to certain parts of the box? What if we let you shoot and make mechanics built around that? Ooh, I was cutting that close.
destroyed.
Hi, Polio.
No longer operable.
Oh, cool. I remember this from the first fight. I'd still say, I think that for your average gamer, Undertale is definitely bullet hell, right? Oh yeah, we screwed up UI. I forgot about that. I don't know what just got cleared, but if you just joined chat, if you'd like to say something without me seeing it, you can type !hide before your message. You can discuss it with chat. I'm trying to be as blind as possible here. I've never played this game before. Oh, good looking out. Never mind. Well, I totally missed it, so good call. You can't actually use the pod programs in this stage, right? On it. Yeah, that's the first ban we've had to do in a really long time. People would not know the command. Laser pod is better. Oh shit. Oh yeah, that is better, isn't it? Cool. Still pretty neat.
Finally. It's over.
Is it though? I think someone brought this up last time. Has anyone gotten to the first ending and been completely believed that that was it? It seemed really sudden to me when we got there. Granted, I had seen the How Long to Beat, but...
I really screwed up. I must have been corrupted when Eve detached from the network.
Like, from his perspective. Cool.
It's okay. I can always reload my backup data from the bunker.
But you'll lose you, the you that exists at this very moment.
Guess so, but we can't upload this corrupted data to the bunker. So...
9S.
Please, Tubi. I want you to do this for me.
It was a nice touch. They could have just played the cutscene out almost the same way, but having it from 9S's perspective added something to it. Weird girl hologram. Was she there in the previous ending? I wonder if that's like the genetic information that, or the soul that 2B has in her. I thought for a second there I could control them. Oh, they're all over the B route? Let's see. Are they in places with other, Android characters? I appreciate how long this scene takes.
It always ends like this.
I guess it always ends like this is kind of your tell that something's up, now that I think about it. It makes more sense than a second pass. You did the thing I asked you to do, Yoko Taro. I'm sorry, I was wrong. I was blinded by hatred.
There's still some alive.
Japanese auteur developer.
Damned machines! Is this a message? The data transmissions, they're resonating with each other.
I don't know, man. Miyazaki's an auteur developer, and he's basically God, in my opinion. I don't think he can do anything wrong. Kojima's like a Kanye-esque genius that is kind of lovable in the weird decisions he makes sometimes. No, I meant, Dark Souls Miyazaki. Did the Studio Ghibli say anime was... I heard that was just a joke, right? I like him more.
It looks like I left my personal data in the machine side of things. Next thing I knew, my sense of self was regenerated over the surrounding network. Having multiple selves fused together like this is a pretty valuable experience, so I wanted to record it. But I couldn't access any storage areas yet, so I just multiplexed it over the memories of some nearby enemies, so that when I returned to my own body,
I wonder why they didn't make us do that, the thing that 9S just said.
I'm glad you're okay.
Feels like that's a explicit story decision.
And so...
Do you have an example, sir? I haven't really followed too much about it.
To an end. This battle will likely have a great effect on the outcome of the war. 2B and I, our battle will continue for some time to come. But that's another story for another day.
Cool. We got about 40 minutes left, or not to be. They said the thing because it's the B ending. So what are people's thoughts? I am okay with wrapping to kind of have the nice separation between playthroughs. I don't know what the next playthrough is like, so I'm going to kind of defer to y'all's judgment on whether you think it would be better to have a gap. I think that if I had ended the A playthrough and then started the B playthrough on a new session, well, no, it was already enough time difference from when I played the beginning of the game because I had already played it over multiple sub-blocks with many months in between them, so I still got the best benefit from that. No reason to wrap here. 40 minutes is plenty of time. 50-50. Tell you what, we'll coin flip it, then no one's responsible. Heads, we'll keep going. Tails, we'll stop here. Coin called it. Measured wings. Rigged. Chaos acted. Oh, the credit song was in English the first time? I didn't catch that. That's cool. Is anything special happen in the credits other than the music being different? So, I love-hate NieR Automata. When it's great, it's fucking amazing. It's 10 out of 10 choice, fantastic, best in the industry. When I hate it, I don't hate it. It's not really bad. It's not even, it's just, it's mediocre when it's not being amazing, I guess. And in a lot of ways, mediocre is more offensive to me than bad. But you play something like Sonic 06, and it's so awful that there's something to get out of that, you know. So it reminds me a lot of, like I've said a couple times in today's session, of Final Fantasy XIV. Like, the parts of 14 that are good are the best in the industry, and the stuff that's vegetables is eating cardboard. There should be a cutscene that plays after the credits. Okay, that's fine. Nice cutscene. Whoa! I'm in control. That's neat. And I'm 2B again. Nick Fury is gonna show up. It's android Nick Fury though. He's got white hair, creepy blue eyes. He has 2 eye patches.
Hey, 2B. I was waiting for you. I needed to give you this.
Oh, thanks for the drugs.
Say, 2B.
Okay.
No, never mind. Just be careful.
Planning preparations complete.
Yeah, that's
Equipment delivered to quarters.
a common joke I'll make on the stream, that a post, well, actually in almost any movie, a post-credits scene will be Nick Fury shows up. You can buy stuff during the credits? That's kind of neat. I can actually save and everything? Or I can pull up the menu? That's cool. You've got mail, which I can't check. No, this is pretty funny. Preview.
Remember your pain. The pain of having your homeland stolen. We will never give up our struggle. We will take back the seas, the skies, the land. We will take back our world from the scourge of the machines.
Looks like that was 2A, right?
We will not fail in this mission. Here and now, we will put an end to this goddamn war. Glory to mankind.
Glory to mankind. Meaningless C and D. Code and childhood end. Neato. Oh, A2, my bad. That was the cutscene you guys wanted to see? You beat the introduction to NieR Automata. That all looked pretty different. The real Android Souls begins here. I guess we'll pop a host to Games Done Quick if people want to talk about it in this chat. You can also use the Discord if you want. Oh, good timing on me running out of battery. Thanks everybody for hanging out. It's been a treat as always. Can I get on board the Disney train now? I know, right?